Okay, before we start, I did not mean to look so severe today. I don't know what happened. I decided to tie my hair back because it just wasn't cooperating. And it happens to be a very gray and rainy day out here in Vegas. And so I took the opportunity to put a sweater on because there just aren't going to be very many days left here in Vegas to be able to put a sweater on. And I just pulled this out and I put this on and I turned the camera on and I looked in the viewfinder and I'm like, wow, I look very Michelle circa like 1995, 6, 7, 90, like 95 to like 98. This was very Michelle. Oh my God, I swear I don't have the coronavirus. I didn't know what I wanted to film today and I was kind of flipping around Instagram and I came across this beautiful picture. Well, all of her pictures are beautiful, but this incredibly beautiful picture of Constance Wu. She's the actress that was in Crazy Rich Asians. She's in Hustlers. Anyway, I'll flash the picture that I'm referring to up here for you guys. But I thought I would attempt to do this makeup look. It is something that kind of reminded me of what I've been really enjoying doing, which is kind of doing like the blush look on the eyes and just kind of doing a very minimal look. It looks like she just has a very natural glossy lip on, but it does look like she has a little bit of a heavier eye look that I've been doing, but really try to do this. You know, obviously I'm not going to look anything like her. She's about 800 years younger than I am. Her skin is flawless, and she's absolutely beautiful. But I wanted to, you know, kind of try and emulate like the elements of this makeup look here. But anyway, that's what I thought we would do today. We'll see. And I took a little peek in the comments just to see, you know, if there's like any more information or details on what was used on Constance's face by Molly Greenwald. By the way, that is the makeup artist that posted this picture, and it looks like she is Constance's makeup artist. Anyway, it looks like she used Armani's Luminous Silk Foundation, which I don't have, but she also mentions using Pat McGrath's like highlighter trio on her face, so I do have that and we'll use that as well. But I don't see any other kind of like details on here. Just a lot of comments, you know, gorgeous, beautiful, wow, you know, looks amazing. So we're just going to be winging it. I took out a bunch of products that I thought could give me a similar look. We'll see. This is probably going to be a gigantic fail, but that's okay. We'll have some fun with makeup and yeah, we'll go from there. So this is a very like glass skin, and Molly Greenwald actually says it right in her caption, glass skin. So this is a very kind of like skin heavy look, and actually my skin is looking kind of crappy today, so this was just the perfect day to be attempting this makeup look. We're gonna start with the Victoria Beckham primer, which I've really been enjoying and really loving, and it gives my skin like a beautiful starting point when I am doing something where I need my skin to look healthy and glowing. So I just pumped out 2 pumps. I'm just gonna spread this all over my face. And God, I'm really hating my hair today. It's just not behaving at all. And I had a little zit here on my forehead that I just had to pick. I just had to pick it this morning. I just couldn't leave it alone. Oh, let me put on some lip balm before I forget. I'm gonna use my Suasu lip serum stick. And because I want my skin to look extra special, healthy, I'm just staring at her picture like, how does her skin look like this? I'm gonna use the Glossier Future Dew Oil Serum Hybrid. I actually haven't used this product too often. I've used it like after the primer, like I'm using it today, and it looks nice. I don't know, I haven't seen that much of a difference, but we'll try it again. And I'm just going to pretty much just put it all over. It has no fragrance, which is so lovely. So there's the Future Dew on my skin. Like, I thought it would leave more of a dewiness on my skin, but it doesn't really. It actually just kind of soaks right in. And it feels really nice on the skin. I just thought it was gonna have more of like a visible impact, and it doesn't really. So I don't know, maybe we can throw it on top of the foundation if we want like a little bit more of that glass skin that we're going for. We'll see when we get there if we need a little bit more. I think what I want to do is actually spot conceal before we put foundation down, since we want kind of like a flawless look. All right, I've got my Surratt Perfectionist Concealer Palette, and I took out number 2. There's like 2 shades in here, and I'm gonna go in with the one on the right side, which is like a little peachier. And I've got my Esom W21 brush, which is not a very like precise kind of brush, but it is sable hair, which I like to use with like cream products. And since I am like kind of concealing up bigger spots, I didn't really need a smaller brush. So I'm just gonna go in and kind of cover up these big sunspots I have here. My zit up here. And I'm not worried too much about blending it in because I'm going to be putting on like at least a medium coverage foundation. I'm going to go in with the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Soft Radiance Foundation, and I have it in the shade Cool Beige, and I'm going to mix it in with the NARS Tinted Glow Booster. Both of these have like a nice radiance to them, and the NARS just adds a little bit of glow. It boosts the glow up, but it also adds just a little bit of warmth to this color, which I like. And yeah, so I'm just gonna mix these two together. Let me just shake both of these up. Okay, I'm just gonna mix it on the back of my hand because I can't find my my makeup palette. Can't find anything right now. I've got my BK Beauty 101 brush. Oh, turtleneck is such a bad idea. Do I have glass skin yet? No, I don't think so. All right, so I'm gonna put some of this on top of my foundation just to see if I can get a little more of a glow glassiness going. So just a little bit. I'm gonna spread it between both of my hands here and just kind of tap. See if I can just kind of bring out a little bit more glow in my skin here. And I'm just kind of patting because I don't know if it's gonna break up the foundation underneath. We'll see. We'll see. I think I see a little of that glassiness there. Future Dew coming through. Definitely feel like I need a little bit more like concealer action. So I'm gonna use the Armani Luminous Silk concealer in 4.5. I think this radiance is going to work nicely. And I'm gonna pile it on because I feel like I need it around my eyes today. And I'm just gonna go in with the BK Beauty foundation brush. I know it's really big, but I'm lazy and it's right here, and I'm just gonna pounce. If I need a little bit more detail work, I'll grab another brush. I think I do actually. I'm just taking this W21 brush and just getting it right underneath my lash line. All right, I definitely need to powder, but I don't want to take down any of this like beautiful glow. So I'm going to use my Kogan Do Brightening Moisture Powder. This guy that has just such a beautiful like pearly sheen to it. And I'm just going to grab my La Mer powder brush. All right, moving on to cheeks. I don't necessarily think she has like contour on. She may have like a little bit of bronzer all over, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm just looking at her blush, and I've taken out a lot of blush options, mainly because I have a lot of blush options. But the more I look at this, the more, and it's, you know, it's always hard to tell in the photo. I don't think the blush itself has a lot of sheen to it. So I took out a couple of Surratt options that I think I'm going to mix together. So I have Parfait and Chaleur and Coup de Genie. So I think if I mix these three together, or maybe not even use the Coup de Genie, kind of stick with the Pat McGrath for highlighting like the front of the cheeks there. Again, it could just be lighting in the picture, but let's start there. I'm going to start with the Parfait and the Chaleur Surratt blushes. So I'm going to use a very light hand because it looks like a very, very, you know, soft touch, but as always easy to build up instead of take away. Actually, I'm going to take this Surratt powder brush, much bigger than a normal blush brush, but because I want to cover kind of a large area, I think this is okay. And again, I'm just going to go between the Parfait and the Chaleur. And I'm definitely using more of the Parfait, the peachy color, than I am the Chaleur, which is the more nude color. And I came up quite high onto my temples. It really looks like she, you know, brought it quite high on Constance's cheekbones. So I did the same. It looks a little bit like there's a little bit of contouring on the forehead as well. I'm gonna just maybe use that Chaleur color, a little bit of the Parfait, and maybe just go just around the edge here, just a little bit, not too much. I feel like it's a little bit further down. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it there. And I'm actually gonna do highlight last because it looks like she has the same highlight like on the brow bone and on the cheek or whatever. I'm gonna use the highlight kind of as like finishing. So I'm gonna do eyebrows and eyes, and then I'm gonna do highlight last. So for brows, they look, you know, pretty fluffy, pretty natural, but they look very, like black and cool tone. They don't look very brown. So I pulled out my ABH Ebony pencil instead of the dark brown. And I have my Tom Ford for Men brow gel comb, which I'll use to kind of tame my hairs. Yeah, her brows look a lot more in control than mine. So I'm gonna fill them in with this and then throw in that gel. I love this Tom Ford brow gel comb. Yeah, brow gel comb. It's for men, but the gel is like just slightly tinted and has a very cool tone to it. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's like this almost like gray color. Oh, it's fantastic, but it's very, very light. And of course, I always like twist up too much, so I spread it between the two brows first, and then I kind of comb it through. And it's so great. It just like gives your brows just a little bit of a tint, and the hold is, you know, it's pretty decent. It's not too crazy. It's not too crunchy, but just enough to kind of help them behave, which is what I need. I have really long, crazy brow hairs. Okay, brows are done. The eyes, this is always the most difficult. So it looks like she has like a blush color, like single shadow, kind of like just all over her eyelid. And then she has like a gold glitter kind of close to her lash line. And then maybe she has like another shade, maybe like a golden shade on her outer lid. It's hard to tell if it's just the lighting. It could just be one shade over her entire lid that's just kind of like flashing a different color in the light. It could be like the highlighter that was kind of like placed there. I'm going to start with just one color on the lid and see where that goes, and then move to like a gold glitter kind of along the lash line, and then follow it up with like a liner. Yeah, let's start there. So it looks like a very, very light wash. So what did I pull out for eyeshadow? Oh, here we go. So I pulled out the Warm Memories quad from Chanel. This was part of their Desert Dream collection. I think it came out for the spring, one of the more recent collections. Anyway, I thought this color would be really pretty for this look. So let's start there. And I don't usually put eyeshadow like that far up. It looks like she has it pretty much all the way up to her eyebrow. Yeah, it looks like she has it all the way up here. So we'll give it a shot. But yeah, I generally don't put eyeshadow all the way up there. I don't know. I just feel kind of uncomfortable putting it like higher than, you know, like where my eyeball is. But that's why we're doing this, right? To try something different. So I'm going to use a really big eyeshadow brush. This is the Chikuhodo GSN 7. Is this dirty? Oh God, this is dirty. Let me just spot clean this. Going into this peach shade here. And if this shade doesn't work, I may just go into that blush shade. Oh, I think that works. This may be a little bit more shimmery than what I'm seeing in the picture, and maybe even a little bit lighter. Again, it's so hard to tell with like lighting and everything, but I'm happy with this peach shade. It looks a little pale. Maybe I'll just add a little bit of this. I don't want to make it muddy though. I'm just gonna add a little bit of it. Okay, I did grab the Pat McGrath Midnight Sun palette. I'm gonna use just like a hint of this color. I feel like that may deepen it up just a hint, Let's see, knock off most of that. Her eyeshadows are so pigmented. I think that actually did it. I have to blend this out with a clean brush though. I feel like I piled it on in this one spot a little bit too much. Okay, and now the more I look at this picture, the more I feel like the outer portion of the lid looks like a continuation of highlighter. So I'm gonna leave this kind of unfinished and I'm gonna work on this kind of gold glitter eyeliner that's going on. And that's the reason why I pulled out this Midnight Sun, because I thought maybe one of these could work for that. I'm thinking maybe this color down here. All right, I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to apply this shadow because it's fairly chunky. It's one of those that I think probably works a little bit better with your finger, but because I'm trying to get it into this very kind of specific line here, I'm gonna try the Sonia G Builder 1 brush. And we'll see what happens. But this brush is my go-to brush for, you know, shadows that are a little bit on the chunkier side, glitter shadows. And because this has such a fine point, I can usually get it into a little area and I just kind of shimmy it back and forth. And it usually can like grip and grab pigment really well that way. So we'll see. It is grabbing plenty of the pigment, but let's see if it lays it down nicely. I am getting too much fallout for my liking, so I'm gonna pump the brakes and I'm gonna go a different route. So I took out my Inglot Duraline. I'm like making such a mess here. And I have my Esom W19 brush and I'm mixing the two and I'm just trying to see, oh my God. Yeah, I think I like this better because now it's like turning it into almost like a liquid eyeliner. It doesn't look quite as glittery, you know, it doesn't have that like chunky kind of like sparkle to it, but at least it's not like I just have like sparkles all over my face. So I think I'm gonna go this route and yeah, and just use it this way. So I'm dipping my brush, I just took a cap off somewhere, I'm a total mess. I'm dipping my brush into the Inglot and I'm just dipping it into the Pat McGrath shadow here, that gold one, and picking up some of these flakes here and just gonna drag this over my lash line. She just has like a little bit. It's almost like you can't even tell. You have to like zoom into the picture. So I'm just adding just a little bit there. All right, so that is finally done. I'm gonna let that dry. That turned out to be a much bigger process than I was anticipating, but I'm much happier with that. No fallout, and the gold is like there to stay. So that Duraline makes it waterproof. Did I already say that? Yeah, I think I did. The Duraline makes that like waterproof, and that gold is there to stay. So I'll just add the black eyeliner once this dries. And the liner is, it just looks like it's very close to the lash line. It looks like it's winged out like just the teensiest bit, like it's just kind of like just brought straight out from her natural lash line. And that's it. It's probably tight lined a little bit. Oh, so I've got my Tom Ford Emotion Proof Liner in #1 Dominator. And I'm gonna tight line first. I'm just gonna go right underneath my lashes. And then I go in my lashes. And then over my lashes. I'm just taking my Rephr #3 brush and just smudging that all out. All right, it doesn't look like she has much mascara on. much to my happiness, and really not much going on the lower lash line. Again, much to my happiness. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the Tom Ford Badass Mascara on my lashes. I'm not even going to curl them because I'm looking at Constance's lashes and I see that she has the Asian lash situation, but they just don't even look curled at all. So I'm not going to bother myself. All right, so let's get this highlighter on. So I've got the Pat McGrath, what is the full name of this? Oh, it's on the front. The Sublime Skin Highlighting Trio. And I think she probably focused on these two at the end. I didn't really see too much of like an iridescent pink going on. I could be mistaken, but I think she probably focused on the center one, which was like gold, and maybe even a little bit of this, just, you know, maybe over the cheeks. But I'm going to start with the center one, and I'm going to go in, again, very, very light, because we can always add. Very difficult to take away. And I'm going to start with a very fluffy brush. I kind of just want to get it, you know, all over the cheeks here. So I've got my BK Beauty 102 brush. Oh, I just dug my nail into one of these highlighters. So I'm just going to throw this brush into that center golden highlight and kind of brush it all over the cheek here. All over the forehead, down the nose. And I'm gonna take the Sonia G mini cheek brush and go into this center gold color again. And I'm gonna brush this just on the outer portion of my lids here. I think that's how she finished off the eyes. I have no idea. I maybe went a little overboard on the eyes. I'm just gonna use that same eyeshadow brush and brush over it. The picture, it doesn't look quite as gold as I feel like I'm seeing it on my face. All right, and then for lips, I am going to finish it off with the Sisley Beige Naturel lip pencil and then the Chantecaille Brilliant Lip Gloss in Lucky. She looks like she just has a super, just a natural, very natural kind of lip color, where her lids look very orangey, her lips look a little bit more pinky peachy. So we're gonna try for that. So I'm just gonna line my lips a little here. All right, what do you guys think? We could be twins. I think I got some of the elements down. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe down below if you haven't already. I'll see you in my next video.